The welfare check. A police officer knocked on a door for a routine welfare check. Nobody answered, so he let himself in and found dinner still warm on the table for a woman who'd been dead for 4 days. Officer Daniel Reyes had been on the force for 6 years. Welfare checks were routine. Somebody's neighbor calls because they haven't seen the old man next door in a few days. The mail's piling up. The dog won't stop barking. 9 times out of 10, the person's just fine. Maybe asleep, maybe deaf, maybe just tired of visitors. This particular night, dispatch sent Daniel to a farmhouse at the very end of a gravel road, past the last streetlight, past the last mailbox. The caller said an elderly woman named Mrs. Hattie Coleman lived there alone. Nobody had seen her in 4 days. Daniel pulled up around 2 a.m. His headlights swept across a porch with a rocking chair that was moving, gently, back and forth, even though there was no wind that night. He knocked. No answer. He called out. Nothing but the creak of that chair. The front door was unlocked. Daniel stepped inside, flashlight cutting through the dark, and immediately noticed the smell. Not decay, not death, but something colder, like the inside of a freezer that had been shut for years. Mrs. Coleman? Sheriff's Department, ma'am, just doing a welfare check. He moved room to room. The kitchen table was set for 2. 2 plates, 2 cups of tea, both stone cold, both untouched. In the living room, an old photograph sat on the mantel. A young woman in a wedding dress, standing beside a man in an old military uniform. Daniel didn't think much of it at the time. Upstairs, he found the bedroom. Mrs. Coleman was there, in bed, eyes closed, hands folded across her chest, like she'd been laid out for a funeral. He checked for a pulse. Nothing. She'd clearly been gone for days. But here's where it gets strange. As Daniel radioed in the death, he heard footsteps behind him. Slow, deliberate. He turned, weapon halfway drawn, and saw no one. But the rocking chair downstairs had stopped creaking, dead silent. Then he heard it, a woman's voice, faint, coming from the closet in the corner of the room, humming. An old tune, something that sounded like a lullaby from another era. Daniel approached the closet, hand shaking on his flashlight. He opened it. Inside were dozens of photographs pinned to the walls, all of the same young couple, the woman from the mantel and the soldier. But in every single photo, dated decades apart, the woman looked exactly the same age, never aging, never changing. At the bottom of the closet was a small trunk. Inside it, Daniel found military dog tags belonging to a soldier who had died in 1953, and beneath the tags a marriage certificate, dated just 3 weeks ago, signed by Hattie Coleman and signed by a name that matched the dead soldier's. Daniel never went back inside that house alone. When backup and the coroner arrived 20 minutes later, they found him sitting on the porch steps, staring straight ahead, refusing to say a word about what he saw in that closet, until years later, at his retirement party, when a few too many drinks loosened his tongue. He said the humming followed him to his cruiser. He said it followed him home. And some nights, when the house is quiet, he still hears it,